We are in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible, because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. Macho. Barak. Yeshabim, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Water, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Shalom, Israel. It's time to come get your full dose of truth for the week. You got Mondays, history class, taught by Officer 500 Shariwan and Officer 500 Ahabawan. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday, you got Word to the Unwise podcast from 6 to 7 p.m. Followed by the main event, Captain and Priest Hadaria Allah, teaching scripture breakdown, the Bible like you never heard it before. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Wednesday, we got Priest and Officer 1000 Awaja teaching you all about the law. Tune in. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, you got myself, Priest and Officer 5000 Kazak Amoff, joined by Priest and Officer 500 Barak Yah, teaching you the Brotherhood class from 5 to 7 p.m. Friday, learn to speak in the Holy Tongue, the Lashawan Kodash class, taught by Officer 1000 Katab. 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
Man, sorry you want to. Yep. Test. Can you hear me?
What's going on,
We are the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Started in 1969, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Right? We are here to teach our brothers and sisters. Those are the so-called Black, so-called Native American, and the so-called Hispanic man and woman who we are correctly according to this Bible, unlike your nasty, dirty ass Christian church. If you're not in the ISUPK, you're not in the truth. Sir, you got something?
Yeah, just in what you said, listening to General Mayak on that intro. Yeah,
I think we needed some inspiration.
Yeah.
You sound a little bit muffled, sir.
Select 1 second. Testing, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but your mic just a little muffled. Now, if you do that, we might get echo. Well, let's go to the chat. Ask the chat if everybody can hear you pretty good. Put a 1 West in the chat. Put a 1 West in the chat if you can hear Ottawa well. Let's see what we got in there. Because to us, you just sound just like maybe you're too far from the mic or something like that. It's just a little bit, was not clear.
Testing. Mic check. How's that?
That's good. That's the best we could do. All right. Kodash at 1 West. Let's rock it. Let's rock it out. All right.
God.
Just real quick. This is a part 2 of the class that we put on a little earlier this month. Our people, our music, and when we brought it up, the subject at first, right? When we first brought this subject up, it was about how we use music during different times to help and aid our people. Like during slavery, we use music to give directions. We use music to navigate. We use music to keep the pace of work. We use the music to assist us in our everyday, in our daily lives. And it got to the point where our oppressors wanted us to sing some of this music. Yeah, he says you sound a little muffled, but he said just a little bit. All right. Our oppressor wanted us to sing some of this music because our music was so great, it made them feel good, not knowing this music was probably most likely a plan of attack, a plan of escape to get away from their ass, right? And, even in today's society, we use music to help cope with some of the oppression that we're going on, that's going on, that we're dealing with. But as we know, the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of, right? And the scripture says that Esau was blessed with the sword, right? Understand, Esau can weaponize anything, right? And this part 2 is going to bring out some of the ways that Esau has weaponized our music against us, right? They'll use this music to go ahead and attack us. We understand that we make all type of music. We got country music, you got hip hop, you got R&B, you got bluegrass, right? All different types of music, right? And I'm gonna pull up let me pull this one scripture real quick.
How's my sound now? Is that a little better?
You think it's a little better? How it sound? It sound about the same.
It's about the same?
I'm gonna jump to Psalms 33. You got your Bible on you? Huh? Oh, go to Psalms 33 and 2 and 3. Right. So this is what we, and some of these scriptures that I'm gonna pull out real quick. I just want to pull out maybe 2 or 3 of them, and I want to show you how and what our people did in order to what our people use this song for, right? What our people use music for, right? What are, maybe we'll get off into dance and things like that. But right now, we're just going to focus on the history of our people and our music. So this is Psalms 33. You got it? Psalms 33 and 2. Let me hear it.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 33, and verse 2. So like it, sir. Can you hear me, Shariwan?
Shariwan.
Sean, I hear you guys.
Sir, can you hear Carr?
Yeah, yes, it will.
You say you can hear you, sir.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 33, and verse 2. Praise the Lord with harp. Sing unto him with the psaltery and an instrument of 10 strings. Verse 3. Sing unto him a new song. Play skillfully with a loud noise.
So understand the music that you hear us making in the ISUPK right now, we're doing just this. This is what the Lord, not suggested. This is what the Lord wanted us to do. Use the instruments to sing unto the Lord. Use the instruments to praise unto the Lord. Now, if we look at music nowadays, tell me what artists outside the artists in the UPK that are using music to do just what this scripture says, right? Now, I know a lot of people gonna say, well, what about gospel music? That's gay. Gospel music is about hugging and touching and rubbing and loving on your God. No, that's not what God is a man of war. God don't want you niggas hugging and touching. That's why I ain't gonna say that. But God is not a homosexual. We don't serve a homosexual God. We don't serve a homosexual God. Want you all rubbing up against him, holding and patting his head and stuff. No, we don't serve that type of God, right? That's what they do with and what is it, Buddhism and what's that other one with the bitch with all the arms? Hinduism. That's what they do with Hinduism and all that kind of stuff. They want to be all up loving and rubbing and massaging on their God. No, our God is going to send out an order, and that order is going to be passed down from Christ through the angels, through Commander General Yohanan to us, right? And guess what's going to happen? We're going to follow those orders. That's how we serve our God, right? If you got a second, let's see. Go to James 5 and 13 real quick, and then we'll get back off into this. I want to get off into this letter, right? Give me James 5 and 13. So these are just some scriptures that says what we did when it came to music. Now I got a bunch of them, sir. So if you jump in as soon as you want to.
Con, can I be heard now? Is that any better?
It sounds about the same, but we can understand you. It almost sounds like you far away from the mic.
Like you kind of in the phone.
Or in the phone booth.
If that's the best, if you can hear me at least, that's the best I can do for now.
Okay, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, Con.
I got that scripture, sir.
All right. Car. I almost called him Carhart. Let me hear that scripture, please.
Book of James, chapter 5, verse 13. Is any among you afflicted?
If any among you are afflicted,
let him pray.
Let him pray.
Is any merry?
Is any merry?
Let him sing psalms.
Let him sing psalms. Think about this. So look, we prayed when we was afflicted, but when it's time to be happy and joyous, we sang songs, right? And with us singing songs, right? I want to show you what our oppressor did to us. Once we started to sing songs, and our oppressor knew that we were singing songs to our God, right? They start to infiltrate our music, right? And they start to weaponize our music against us. And they used our people to help weaponize our people, our music, right? I'm gonna give you proof. Give me 1 Maccabees 11:21. Right. Before you give me that, give me Psalms 137:2. Right. You got to understand what they did with our music is they went ahead and they wanted to hear our music. And then later on, they weaponized our music against us. Give me Psalms 137:2 and 3. Right. This is where their oppressor gonna be like, hey, let me hear one of them jams y'all got. All right. I want to hear one of them good songs. Now, at the same time, he beating our back. At the same time, he was hanging our women upside down from trees and cutting their bellies open. They using our children as gator bait, right? And buck breaking our men. And wow, the oppressor's doing that. This is what he's saying. Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Psalms 137, verse 2. We hang our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof.
We hang our hearts upon the willows, upon the midst thereof. Continue.
Verse 3. For there they that carried us captive.
For there those people that carry us captive, what they say?
Require of us a song.
Require of us a song. Right? So they expected us. Think about it. The scripture, we just read the scripture said, if you, and I'm paraphrasing, if you in the hardship, pray. But if you merry and cheerful, sing a song. Right? So they're trying to get us right there. They're trying to get us to go against the scripture, what it said in James. Right? You got some more on that?
And they that wasted us
Mm-hmm.
required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion.
Sing us one of the songs of Zion. So they wanted us to pretend and be happy, right? That they were carrying us off into slavery, right? Off to death, right? And, it wasn't just the oppressor by himself. Some of our people that are traitors unto us, some of our people that were traitors unto us assisted them, right? Go to Maccabees, 1 Maccabees 11:21.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees 11:21.
Uh-huh.
Then came ungodly persons.
Then came what?
Ungodly persons.
Okay, continue.
Who hated their own people.
Who hated their own people, right? Go ahead.
Went unto the king.
Uh-huh.
And told him that Jonathan besieged the tower.
You see that? These were traitors in Israel. So we had traitors in Israel, just like we got traitors in Israel right now. We got traitors to us right now that are our own people. Now, the oppressor and those traitors to us, right, got together to change the use of music. Now, understand this. The reason why is blast what can you say mass in the masses with hip hop, because hip hop is one of the genres of music that is fluent across the globe, right? You see some, not just us doing hip hop, but you see some of these Gentiles, like you see the Moabites and the Amalekites and what's Japan, the Amaleks. You see them guys all doing hip hop ciphers in their own languages, right? It's some anime. I think that's how you announce it. Anime, the cartoon with the fighting and the violence and stuff. They got anime out there right now with hip hop in Japanese, right? And then they got some Korean anime that's starting to come out. You got the hip hop in Korea, right? Understand this. Hip hop was created right here in the Bronx, in America, in the Bronx. That's where it blew up at. That's where it started, right? That's why, with it starting there, think about it. some of your first rappers, some of your hottest rappers that you know come out of that New York area, right? You got rappers that, you know, who you got? Nas and what's some of the other rappers that came up out of that area, right? Now, Wu-Tang Clan, you know, who else we got? Sir? You got a couple of them, don't you, sir? Shariwan. Can you hear me? Oh, you know, we were talking about, you know, how hip hop came up out of New York, and that's why, you know, some of the biggest, the hottest rappers that you hear about, you know, Jay-Z, all those guys, think about it, it came up out of there. That was the original state for hip hop to start up. But now look at it, it's all across the globe, right? But when hip hop first started, right? When hip hop first started, anybody know why hip hop started? Why people started to do hip hop?
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah. We got Shariwan say, go ahead, Car.
I was gonna say, wasn't it in rebellion of really just the oppression that we was going through?
Yeah, it was to think about the songs that came out. The songs, you know, you got think about it. F the Police, you got Self-Destruction. Think about some of the early hip hop songs. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, even before that, you had the culture where it was just street culture, where
yeah,
you know, graffiti, breakdancing, DJ, and all that, and that's where, you know, the black and brown unity was really heavy in New York. And, you know, I mean, it still is today, but hip hop really birthed out of black and brown unity.
Yeah. Oh, let me do this real quick.
When you see, you know, you got the Puerto Ricans that's doing the tagging,
Mm-hmm.
that's breakdancing, the b-boys, them was all Spanish kids.
Yes, sir.
You got the DJs, which mostly, you know, brothers, and then rappers, those, you know, a little bit of mixed in. So if you really look at it, you know, hip hop is birthed out of our unity.
Well, let me give you a little something real quick. It's a hip hop culture is an art movement that emerged in New York, in the boroughs of the Bronx, primarily within the black community. Hip hop is an art form and culture, has been heavily influenced by male and female artists. It is characterized by the element of rapping, DJing, and turntablism. I didn't know that was a word. And breakdancing. Other elements include graffiti, beatboxing, street entrepreneurship, hip hop language, hip hop fashion. Many cite hip hop emergence as beginning in August of 1973 when brother sister duo DJ Kool Herc and Cindy Campbell hosted the first documented indoor hip hop party and cultured the event in the Bronx, helping to spark and rise of the genre. However, many hip hop pioneers and historians contend that hip hop did not have just one founding father. The Black Spade Street Gang and Disco King Mario of the Bronxdale House are also considered vital in the early origins of hip hop culture and music. Disco King Mario hosted and organized outdoor hip hop cultural events and park jams that predate DJ Herc 1973 indoor hip hop party. Right? It says DJ Kool Herc was also among the attendees at Disco King Mario's hip hop event. Right? So you know that's how the thing started up. Right, that's how it started up, and then it was started to fight the, you know, they used it to fight the like you were saying, the oppressions and the injustices that were going on in the community by the government and policing. Right, the government and policing. So you understand is that the governors and these policing units and these policing individuals. Let me know if we got any comments. I see some comments up there, right? So, but the policing that was going on in our neighborhoods, hip hop was one of the outlets that we use to go ahead and pass the message along. Think about it. Our ancestors did this, spoke orally and sung and in music to pass a message along, right, of how to protect ourselves, what to look out for, and things of that nature. You got something, sir?
Yeah, Con, I want to jump in on something. If you could grab for me Matthew 5 and verse 13. Because, you know, a lot of what you're saying is so heavy. And there's a good underlying message in all of it.
Yes, sir.
Like, all throughout the scriptures, we see, you know, we understand that the nation of Israel are a peculiar people. You know what I mean? We're a special people unto the Lord. Deuteronomy 7 and 6 says we're above all nations on the face of the earth. You understand? You got that verse, Abu?
I got it, sir.
Go ahead and read that for me.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 32. But I say unto you.
So, Slakia, verse 13.
13, Salakia. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
Ye are the what?
Salt of the earth.
Like, this is every Black, Hispanic, and indigenous, man. We are the salt of the earth. Like, we're the people that give the earth flavor. And, like, I want to bring it out that, you know, all the different things we brought out in hip hop and rap, how we influence this earth. It's because of our gifts, our talent, our capabilities. Keep reading.
Khan. But if the salt have lost its flavor, wherewith shall it be salted?
Right. And if the salt loses its flavor, wherewith shall it be salted? What's that flavor? That flavor is the law, statutes, and commandments.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? Like, our culture is such a beautiful culture, and that it will save humanity from death. It will save the world from killing themselves. I saw videos of the nasty ass East Indians. They got this festival every year where they pick up cow shit and throw it at each other.
They do what?
They literally pick up cow shit. They collect cow shit for like 6 months out of the year. Can't remember the name of the festival. It's not hard to look up. And then they pick this shit up and they throw it at each other. They swim in it. They roll around in it. Because their culture is so fucking disgusting. It's so foul. You know what I mean? I was thinking about it earlier in Canada, where they say things like polygamy is, you know, hurtful or oppresses women. But you'll allow a man to get married to another man, knowing damn well when they start messing around with each other, they're going to be on heavy painkillers every day for the rest of their life. Men are going to be wearing adult diapers because they can't stop the shit from pouring out of their backside. Like, this is what's going to happen when you do something that goes against God. This is what these other cultures do. And this flavor that Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous have is so valuable. Right? Keep reading, Carl.
But if the salt had lost its flavor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing.
It is good for nothing. Like, we got all this talent, but if we're not obeying these laws, what's the fucking point?
Damn right.
Like, we're gonna come out in 2025, make a rap video about selling drugs to our people. Make a video about, shooting up the neighborhood. What's the fucking point of having all this talent if we're going to teach each other to murder each other? Teach each other to whore out our daughters, spend money on prostitutes, and, just all this wicked shit that goes on in this earth. Mainly pushing the culture of white people. Like, you look up the way media portrays blacks today, they'll tell you one of the main ways they portray black men is a thug, a hoodlum. That's the stereotype that they have of us. Meanwhile, the white man is the biggest fucking thug, the biggest gangster. He's the inventor of gang, the inventor of drug dealing, inventor of, you know, every murderous activity on earth. We sit here and we push his culture in our music. Good night. Look at the world today. Like, we got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and start making music, you know, that influences our people to do something good. If I could, I'm gonna end off with reading one quick thing, and then we should probably get into some of the information, Avalon.
Yeah, I was saying, if I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna let Shariwan go ahead and read off some of the comments that we got. You know, just go ahead and, you know, make sure we interact with the people. Read off some of those comments, post them, and then I want to get into the conspiracy.
Sure. Yeah, these comments right here. We got a Kodash Dabar in the building. Nashar Gapar, what's going on, Nashar? All right, it was good to see you, brother. Barak Yah, what's going on? We got Kwamada, Maria, Freedom First, and David Boldo. Everybody just checking in. All right, how about the brothers? The sister.
All right.
Let's get into some of this information.
So this is what I'm going to get into now. This is what the industry calls the rap industry or the hip hop industry calls a conspiracy, and they're trying to cover up that if this letter was written or was not written, right? And what the letter states is that they wanted the hip hop artists in the early 90s to start to do music that was more filled with drugs and gangster and violence, so that these people, before I go there, yeah, that's the one. But before I go there, you know, this is what it says in the overview. It says the letter that changed hip hop refers to an unsigned anonymous letter that circulated in 2012 on hip hop blogs. It alleged a secret meeting between music industry executives and the private prison industry complex in the early 1990s to promote gangster rap, leading to the mass incarceration for profits, right? This is what the letter claims. The letter claims and the impacts. It says the alleged meeting, the letter claimed that it was in 1991. A powerful record executives were convinced to steer the direction of rap music towards glorifying criminal behavior, violence, drugs, and gangs in exchange for stocks in private prison companies. Now, these private prison companies wanted these prisons to, if they were to get invested into these prisons were needed to be occupied at a 90% level, right? So at a 90% level. So what they did was they said, hey, we got this hip hop that influences every black person in America, right? Let's use this hip hop to influence them to go to jail, you know, just paraphrasing, right? Let's get into the letter. Okay.
You want me to read that, the secret meeting?
Yeah, I'm about to get into that letter. I was just giving the overview of it, right?
Yeah.
It says more than, Slakia, sir?
No, keep going.
Say, what is the secret meeting that changed rap music? More than 2 decades ago, the notion of an alleged meeting described as a secret meeting that changed hip hop was first floated in a blog post. According to the anonymous sources, 25 to 30 movers and shakers in the music business conspired together in 1991 to create a prison pipeline of sorts through rap music. Now understand this, sir. You already got the, what's it called? The kindergarten, the prison pipeline, right? Is it called the kinder, or is it preschool to prison? Well, one of them, right? That's that conspiracy is affecting our community. Now you got this conspiracy that's on the music side in our community. So apparently, this oppressor, all he wants us to do is have babies and send them to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. While subgenre of rap like gangster rap, hardcore hip hop are also known for violent themes, and imaginary rap as a whole is not inherently violent. Many rap artists explore a wide range of topics, including social, contemporaries, I screwed that word up, personal experiences and storytelling without explicitly glorifying violence. Some studies suggest that a correlation between exposure to rap music and certain behaviors, but a casual link between music and violence has not been definitely proven, according to, I don't know what that nigga name is. That's Erasmus, whatever. Subgenres of violent themed hip hop often focus themes on street life crimes, violence, reflecting the struggles of individuals in marginalized communities. Please.
You know, and something to understand, we're reading something that, you know, took place in what, 1991?
Yes, sir.
And we got to understand, inside of America, you know, I think it was since World War II with the birth of a nation. You know what I mean? Like that was, you know, one of the first sources of media that was put out to depict Black people in a certain way. And, you know, this idea of pushing certain things in the media or portraying certain things of us in the media is not something new. You know what I mean? And something like this, it just further shows, you know, that the attack or the racism of this nation has never ended. Like they got sources coming out in what was it called in BET? There's a specific term that the executives in BET are using, and it's specifically devoted to like changing the narrative, like changing the way that we see Blacks, you know, inside of America on the media. And it's like, how is it that, you know, in 2020, I think is when they started it, 2020, you're just now coming to the conclusion that there's something wrong with the way we portray Black people. There's something wrong with, you know, our music all of a sudden in 2020. In 2020, we're just coming out with studies, you know, verifying that, you know, the effects of the media on the Black family. You know how idiotic that sounds?
Yes, sir.
Like they'll tell you from World War II they've been doing this bullshit. From World War II, there was who was that? Jackie Chan. They tried to put Jackie Chan in a movie that portrayed him in a certain way, and he was like, "Fuck that! He ain't going for it."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like China would not allow certain videos or movies to be played inside of their country if it portrays them, you know, in any kind of negative light, because they understand the effects that it has on the people. You know what I mean? So to have this idea or this mentality of in 1991, you know, this is the first time all of a sudden, you know, we're gonna fuck Black people on the media. It's total bullshit.
Yeah, still bull.
I mean, like these things have been going on since birth of the nation. You know what I mean? BET had. I'll give one more example, and I'll get off it. When BET, you know, first launched around 1980, might have been 1981. Bill Cosby's television show was the first. It was the first show that ever showed Black people in a good light.
Talking about the Cosby Show?
Yeah, I think I had Bill Cosby as, what was he, a lawyer or something like that? He was
the doctor and his wife was the lawyer.
He was a doctor, the wife was a lawyer. The family unit was together. The teenagers were in order. The young ones were in order. You know what I mean? It was the first time they had portrayed black people in a good light.
And if you look at it, sir, if I may,
go ahead.
Even the children's friends, like, you know, Theo was the oldest son, and he had a best friend by the name of Cockroach, right? Black community is named Cockroach. Cool. So even Cockroach, even though he come from a impoverished family, even Cockroach, when he got around Theo and Bill Cosby, I forget what his name was in there, but when he got around them, he you know, basically tried to clean his perception up, right? He tried to clean his character up when he got around them. Like, they influenced him to change instead of him influencing them to change, right? And reason why I bring that up is because as priests and prophets, right, even though we go to a area that we're outnumbered on the case, you know, almost like outnumbered on the case of what we believe, we still go in there, you know, whether it be a bar, club, whatever, we still go in there to influence people to become just like us.
Right.
Right. And that's the same thing the media does. The media wants you to portray you and wants you to be certain ways. They want our men to be, you know, homosexual men, and they want our women to be whores. That's all I got, sir.
Yeah, I'll add one quick thing. There were a couple specific things on how they portray black men. And this is consistent. Like, the statistics show this. You know, up until 2025. Statistically, the media portrays black men as coons. They call them coons or buffoons, thugs or hoodlums, or men that abandon their family. Those are the three prevalent stereotypes that they put inside of media on the black men. And then for the women, what do they call it? They call it like the Jezebel woman, who is the woman who refuses to obey her husband, you know, or talks back to her husband in certain ways. They have the angry black woman, and then they have the woman who, what do they call it? The mammy. I'm not sure if you ever heard of that, where the black sister is serving the white family.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
That's so heavy what you're saying, because it's a term that is used in the black community that I've heard just about, well, I ain't heard none of the sisters in the UPK say this, but any sister that ain't in the UPK, I've heard her say this term: I'm a strong, independent black woman. What I don't hear, I never heard a Chinese woman say, I'm a strong, independent Chinese woman. Or I never heard a Japanese woman say, I'm a strong, independent Japanese woman. Or, you know, I never hear a German woman say, I'm a strong, independent German woman. You only hear that in the black community.
And Ahabawan, not only do you hear those things, but statistics show that is not the typical black woman.
It's not.
That is not the typical black man. They'll portray black men as being, you know, abandoning their kids. Yet statistically, they are number one in staying in that family household.
Damn right.
So these things that they portray us to be aren't even true.
Yeah, I was looking at a rapper earlier today, and he came out and apologized to his father because he considered his father a deadbeat. Right? Did you see that? He considered his father a deadbeat. I can't remember the name of the rapper, but he considered his father a deadbeat. And with him considering his father a deadbeat, he was angry with him until he got a baby mama that was like his mama. Right? And he said he had to apologize to his father because he see through his baby mama, he understand why he left.
Wow.
Slim Jim, that was his name. Slim Jim. Yep. He said, Daddy, I'm sorry. I don't see why you left this ruthless dog. He said, what they say? We got some comments up there by Dave Buffalo, or what's the name?
Just ignore those comments.
Oh, okay. He said ignore them. So look, sir, if I may, I'm gonna jump down deeper into this.
Yeah, let's get it.
It says the meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. Right, I jumped down a few paragraphs. It says, I remember about 25 to 30 people being there, and most of them familiar faces. Speaking to those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, and many of us did not care for rap music and failed to see the purpose of inviting a private gathering to discuss its future. Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces that stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior, the formal appearance, they didn't seem to be in our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement, preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during this meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued and in some cases disturbed many of us. The agreement was a page long, but very clear on the matter and consequences, and stated that violating the terms will result in job termination. We asked several people what this meeting was about and their reason for the secrecy, but couldn't find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. No one stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me. A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected the agreements from us. Quickly later, the meeting began. One of my industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless, like everyone else, thanked us for attending. He gave the floor to a man who introduced himself, his first name, and gave no further details about his background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but it was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success that we've achieved in our industry and congratulated us for being selected as a part of the small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable and strange in the gathering. I'm trying to jump down to where they said that, okay, I remember a joke.
Yeah, if you look for that, while you look for that,
what I'll do is, sir, what I do have is I do got some videos, right? About, I want to play about a minute of these videos. One got Cube in it, the other video got Crazy Bone in it, and they're confirming what this letter says.
God, is there a part that you want to get to still in this article?
Well, I just wanted the part where I'm looking for where they asked them to help push more violence in hip hop.
Take a second to look for it, Priest. And while you look for it, I'm just gonna bring out a couple of things. If you don't find it, we'll just get into the videos. All right?
Yeah, I was just gonna have them play one of the videos right now. Yeah, that one right there. Get that one first. And he speaks about it in the first couple minutes of the video. That's Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, sir.
For the women hoes, right? Why are you just strictly so bent on this is all you want our young kids to hear?
You know why?
Exactly. So that's why I say it's no conspiracy. Yeah, it's right in front of our face.
You made an interesting statement that I want to just kind of see if you can elaborate on. You said that you I know you had said somewhere, I think it was on your podcast, that there was a big meeting, with the record labels in terms of and basically the record labels and the owners of the prisons are in cahoots. They're the same people.
Yeah.
You really believe that's a thing?
Man, yes, it could be. There's a lot of big corporations that have
Pause it right there.
ownership.
Pause it right there. Now you got to understand this. He can't, because of the contractual agreement that makes his money, he can't put names out there.
Right.
Right. He can't do a lot of things. Right. Some of these basketball players and artists got agreements where they can't go back to their own hoods and redevelop. Right. With real estate and stuff like that. Right. So he has to speak vaguely. He has to speak vaguely when he brings up this issue. Go ahead, Carr.
It's rich black people that got ownership in prisons.
Right.
They just don't go around.
Pause right there.
about it. That's
You said it's
one big
black
move
people
they
that
don't-
have what? Back it up. Watch what he said. He said it's black people that got interest in prisons.
in prisons. It's rich black people that got ownership in prisons.
Right.
Pause right there. Remember, the scripture said our own people turned against us. Right? Right there, that proves right there. Well, I'm not saying he proves the scripture. What I'm saying is that this scripture is proving that we have our enemies. Some of our enemies are our own people. Go ahead.
They just don't go around bragging about it. That's one big move they don't go around bragging about. You know, it's no secret, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
so you feel as if basically
let's pause that video. Bring up the video with Cube. No, it's not that one. We could bring up that one last. Nope, not that one. He's on a talk show with what's the guy's name? He's on a talk show with I can't remember the guy's name. Hold on, let me see if I can find this video. So did I send it? Let me go back over it. Right. Let's see. Well, don't worry. Go to the podcast, the conspiracy against hip hop. Play that one right there. Yeah, so you know, our music is being used to attack our people. Think about it. It's telling the young lady, go back down, go back down, go back down. One more. Yeah, that one. That's one of the longer ones too. So this one you could skip to a hit play.
Heads up before we begin. This podcast is explicit in every
Back in the spring of 2012,
his first name started pitching the room.
No, back to the video.
He might have sounded something explicit in every way.
back in the spring of 2012, somebody took the time to generate a Gmail account. Username, John Smith. The address, industryconfessions@gmail.com. They composed the message with the subject line, "The secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation." And on April 24th at 1:30 p.m., hit send.
That unsigned letter claimed to document a secret meeting back in the 1990s that joined two of America's most powerful forces, the music industry and the prison industrial complex.
Pause right there.
It described a close.
Now, what you got to understand is when she say two of the most powerful industries in America, understand that the two most powerful industries, they got to be making the most money, right? They got to have the most clientele, right? So music and hip hop goes right. Music can put individuals into a trance and have them doing things that they wouldn't, perform things they usually don't know. You usually don't do. You will see some women in out and about, and a certain song will come on. These could be the most modest women and a song will come on, they'll drop it like it's hot. That's the influence of music. So if they believe that if they could get a woman to drop it like it's hot, when a certain song come on, I could go ahead and get a young brother to go ahead and shoot his brother when a certain song come on. Go ahead.
closed door meeting with a small group of industry insiders held at a private residence on the outskirts of LA. Years about, how they felt the music went from pro-black to, man, pro-crack.
Pause right
Okay,
there.
Rodney.
Right now, this is what we're saying. What changed the music from going from pro-black to pro-crack? Right? From keep your head up to kill your brother. Right? What caused the music to do that? Why would you do the music like that? Because you use it to weaponize it. You used it and you weaponized it to aim and bombard a certain individual or a certain group of people. You got something, sir? Kahar, you got something? Adawan, you got something?
Yeah, I want to bring something out, but let's finish this video first.
No, this is a long video. It's just certain aspects of the video I wanted to hit. I got one more video too I want to show.
Let me. I'm gonna bring something up just to support this topic, because what he said is so heavy, and it has such an effect, on our people. Let me share my screen really quick, and I'm just gonna read a quick part of this. This was a little bit bigger. This is from the National Center for Biotechnology Information. Okay, and it was titled the Racial Media Microaggressions Impact on Black Adolescent Mental and Behavioral Health. Okay, and the plain summary of it, it says media use is a meaningful occupation for adolescents. Media use includes activities such as watching online videos, television, reading ebooks, magazines, or online articles. It is important to understand how media use may impact health, especially among marginalized groups who may experience discrimination because of their race. Through the media, this study explored whether exposure to racial media microaggressions, a subtle form of racial discrimination, impacted mental health and behavioral health, depression, anxiety, aggression, cannabis use among a group of Black adolescents. So basically what they're saying was microaggressions in the media was especially affecting a young Black adolescent. And it was affecting them mentally in their depression, anxiety. It was affecting them to the point of making them more aggressive. And it was encouraging them to start the use of cannabis. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up because, Ka'ar, if you could, pull up the definition of microaggression. Pull up the definition of microaggression and read that. Because what is it that we see inside of the music? Like, what did he say? He went from promoting, what is it? Promoting something to promoting crack? Remember what he said, Alvon?
Yes, sir. He said from pro-black to pro-crack.
There you go. Pro-black to pro-crack. Like being pro-black, you know what I mean? Like you're encouraging all the successes of your culture. You know what I mean? That's something that BET will claim that they do. They got the BET Awards. What are those BET Awards? It's about promoting Black success. Hey, this artist was the best artist. This was the best actor. Best musician, best whatever. You know what I mean? Best actor, best comedian. They're trying to promote Black excellence. They're being what you would call or quote unquote say pro-Black. But you got that definition, Carl?
You want me to read it, sir?
Go ahead.
It says a microaggression is a subtle, everyday comment, action, or environment cue that communicates a negative, derogatory, or a hostile message towards people from marginalized groups, often unintentionally revealing underlying bias about race, gender, sexual orientation, disability, etc.
Now check this out, Hubble One. The black household, and check out these statistics. On average, the average African American consumes 16 and a half hours of media every day.
Damn right.
I think that the teenager consumes is something like 7.5 to 9 hours. An 8 to 10-year-old consumes is like 5 or 6 hours every single day. And that microaggression is happening every single day. Every day, you're listening to some hip hop music promoting crack, being pro drugs. You know what I mean? Being pro unaliving each other. Being pro these loudmouth black women, being aggressive and uncompliant. You know what I mean? Being the black household being destroyed, showing us in these quote unquote reality sitcoms where our household can't get it together.
Yeah.
They show these microaggressions every single day. And these microaggressions, they're affecting you to the point of, and so like, you know how many times I've heard you read this at Habawad in class?
Say it again.
You know how many times I've heard you read this in Kappa Dyer's class, scripture breakdown class, about one of the reasons for cannabis use? It's from microaggressions.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to turn into a drug addict because all you see all day long is your people in a negative light. That's all you see. And this is what, what's it called? Programs like BET are responsible for. They play nothing but this music every day, all day long. I heard Marshaw say that the other day. You wait till midnight. I remember being a young kid. You wait till 12 o'clock at night comes and all the filthy fucking music in the world comes on.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Do you remember Slakia, sir?
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is what we consume. Go ahead.
Do you remember the program The Box? It used to be able to call in, and you call in, and for a certain amount of money, they'll play whatever video you want to play. Right? So at certain times of the day, we'd get out of school and we would watch The Box because there's music videos on there, right? But depending on who calls in, you might see 4 or 5, you might see a song played 4 or 5 times in 3-4 hours, right? And they had us believing that everybody wanted to listen to Luke Skywalker pop that P, and that's what folk was calling in for. No, that's what you want to influence in, because guess what? Now you can play this and it's considered like it will be like today's it would be like only subscribing to OnlyFans for music, and you can suggest the songs that you want to hear. So when that came out, all you heard was shoot a nigga, kill a nigga, pop that, throw that. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm like. Wow, this is different music, because I'm used to listening to music and being born in the late 70s. I listened to music in the 80s, right? And the music changed from the late 80s to the early 90s. The music changed, right? We went from listening to songs that was 911 is a joke to it went from 911 is a joke to fuck the police to now I'm gonna shoot my nigga. Right, that's how the music changed. You got something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and when you look back on it, a lot of the music back then was a lot of storytelling. It was a lot of journalism. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where now today it's glorification,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like envy of a lifestyle that's destructive to our people. So it's not just telling a story, which what it used to be. You know what I mean? It used to be something that, you know, we know how a brother living in LA. You know what I mean? Like, even though it ain't good, but we know, you know, they got this over there, they got that over there, and it's not glorifying it. It's just showing how they live. But now it's like a straight up glorification of it.
There's some brothers dead and in jail right now. What's the young rapper? Fulio. He made a song about how he rolled down on his ops. And guess what happened? The song said he rolled down on his ops on his ops birthday or something like that, right? And then they rolled back down on him. Ain't none of them alive now.
What's so evil about that situation? The brother made a video at the gravesite of the person that, you know, that died, that's from his, you know what I mean? Like, it's just pure wickedness what these brothers is doing out of ignorance, where they are telling on themselves first of all, and then they are talking about real life situations, and, you know, degrading the dead, you know, and just doing a bunch of wickedness. You know what I mean?
You know what's so heavy about what you just said? You said that music, that the old hip hop artists used to be storytellers, right? They used to be storytellers. Remember Dana Dane and Slick Rick, Kumo D, all them guys were storytellers, right? Kumo D wrote a song about I go to work. I ain't heard a nigga write a song about working since. Kumo D wrote a song about to work like a doctor. That's what it said. It said I go to work like a doctor, right? That when I was younger, I'm like, man, maybe I should be a doctor. You see what I'm saying? But the music changes. You look at these kids now, the music, like you said, it only glorifies what? Shaking that ass, killing your brother, and having more money than your next door neighbor.
It's like it's her being a drug addict.
Oh yeah, dope fiends. Dope fiends. Hey, while we on here, if I may, sir, the other video I just sent you, the one with Cube in it, right? And this, like I said, you know, Israel, we're showing you how the white man has weaponized. Think about this. What's the most dangerous place for a black person to be? Hold on.
Mother's womb.
In the mother's womb, right? Because the white man has weaponized the mother's womb with abortion. Now, this is how this devil has weaponized your hip hop. Hit that play button, please.
Who benefits and profits off our bickering and our division? You know, it's like follow the money.
Pause it.
I don't know their names.
He asked you a question. Who profits off of Black, Native Americans, and Hispanics bickering and arguing? Not Blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, not us. We don't profit off our arguments. We don't profit off of destroying one another. Right? Play.
But if you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see, okay, you know, this is an industry. Okay, let's take rap music.
Let's take it.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Pause it.
So
the same people that own the labels own the what? He said the prisons. And with the same people owning the labels that own the prisons, what do you think these people that own the label want? They want to make money from this label. What do you think these people that own these prisons want? They want to make money from these prisons. So how can I combine? Look how diabolical this devil is. How can I combine my industry over here, my music industry, and get that music industry to funnel me some more money into my prison industry? Hit that play button.
So
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So, you know, it seems really kind of suspicious. If
now, the reason why I'm pausing it, understand this. How does Ice Cube make this is why these actors and these entertainers cannot be your leaders, right? The Bible says that our gates are languished. This is why they can't be our leaders. Ice Cube make too much money in this music and this media industry, right? So the same way Crazy Bone did, he has to watch what he says and beat around the bush, right? What you got to understand that don't nobody pay the ISUPK, so we say what the fuck we want. We say what we want, right? We call that devil a devil to his face, right? Cube can't do that. You know why? Because that devil keeps him at that level of stardom that he has. Because at any given point, that devil could say, "What, nigga, you ain't worth shit tomorrow." Right? And cut him. They did it to, what was his name? Nick Cannon?
I was gonna say they did it to him too. They broke him. He said something a little out of line, and he kind of stepped on us and made him apologize for it.
Yeah, if not, he getting canceled. Play.
You want to say that word, that, you know, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
Run that back.
But they didn't make.
Run that back. Listen to what he said, right? So when you think about your artists that's out now, Lil Wayne, Lil Nas X, when you think about that Big X the Plug, all right, when you think about those artists who are not out now, this is what's going on. Hit play.
Are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you right though.
Now look. Hold on. And this is why I'm pausing it right here, because I want to hear this guy's question. This was going to say, right? He's going to say they ain't make you write it. They ain't make you write it. But if you don't write it, you don't get no money. You don't get produced. You don't get to do the shows. You don't get the fame, the stardom, and stuff like that. And those are the true sellouts in our. You got something, sir? Those are the true sellouts in our community. When you got. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Keep going.
Oh, those are the true sellouts in our community. Just because the brother go out, sister go out, get a couple degrees and move up out of her neighborhood, right? Trying to better herself. I understand why I wouldn't move about my neighborhood, but I understand what they're trying to do. You can't really call those people selling out. They're trying to better themselves. This guy right here got enough money. Him, the Ice-T's, the Ice Cubes, the Waynes and the Jay-Z's, they got enough money to buy the whole damn hood and bring it up. Beyonce is a billionaire now. Jay-Z is a billionaire now, right? They are two of the highest financial producing individuals in the music game right now. They make the most amount of money in the music game, Jay-Z and Beyonce, and they're married, right? So, you know, some people would consider that a financial power couple. But after Jay-Z sold all that dope in this community, right, and Beyonce shook all that ass, they should go back to their communities and do something. But the industry got a chokehold on them because certain individuals have contracts where they can't go into their own neighborhood and bring up that community that they destroyed, getting to this fame and stardom. Go ahead. Gotta hit
those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't.
Run that back. Right. Pause it. Lupe Fiasco, is that his name? Wrote a song about a skateboard. What's it called? Push kick something, push kick, whatever. Right? Wrote a song about a skateboard, right? He's an artist. You don't hear his music going mainstream. Another artist I'm talking about industry artists that are positive. Chance the Rapper is another one you don't hear his music going mainstream. You know who music I hear going mainstream? I hear Sexy Red, right? What's that? The City Girls. I hear their ass all the time. NBA Youngboy, right? 42 Dub. That's what I hear on the mainstream. You don't hear, there is not a positive hip hop, what's it called? A positive hip hop, let's say radio station. Not even on, if you got, what's that, satellite radio? Not even on satellite radio. Go ahead.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. You know, some records are made by committee. Meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of, you know, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be and what the, you know, a lot of.
Now, if the music is designed towards not what the artists want, but what the record label want, what is the record label's outcome when producing such violent music? There's only one answer. You want people to go to jail. You want people to get high. You want women to shake their ass. Go ahead.
Deeper than the jail part, sir. These record labels are getting life insurance policies on these.
Oh, I forgot about that. So
they getting life insurance policies on these artists and then making their money off their death.
Let's see. These individuals that you see, these up and coming artists that you see that's getting popped in these, like what's the name? Dex, Blade, Icewood. You know, think about these. These guys were about to sign. When they sign with a label, the record label immediately puts life insurance on these individuals, right? They put life insurance on these individuals. And think about this. When you get life insurance, it's recommended that you get life insurance that's 2.5 times your yearly salary, right? That's how it's recommended when someone sells you life insurance. You get it 2.5 times your yearly salary, right? So if you're making $100,000 a year, they recommend that you get a $250,000 life insurance policy, right? Now, what you have to do is verify your income with certain life insurance groups in order to show that, yeah, you're going to make this amount of money this year, or you show your tax returns for last year, say, hey, I made this amount of money last year, and when we're making this amount of money last year, I need this amount of life insurance to go forward. And they either hook you up with a whole life, a term life, or a URL or IRL, depending on what type of policy that you want to go into, if you want to invest or if you don't want to invest. So what these record labels do is they put these life insurance on these individuals. Now, what you got to understand is life insurance costs more if you are a police officer, a fireman, or a pilot, depending on what your occupation is, right? You could write it up in history. I mean, you could write it up in the insurance policy that you are an entertainer. And with you being an entertainer, the life insurance cost is lower than being a police officer, right? You don't have to say what genre entertainment that you're in. All you have to do is say that you're an entertainer, right? That you could present stage plays like I'm an entertainer, and somebody put life insurance on you because you made a certain amount of money, or you're going to make a certain amount of money. So just in case something happens to you, protect your family. What happens is these industries reach out and get life insurance on these high risk individuals. And guess what happened? Push drugs and dope and all the gangster, not just to them, but into their communities through them. So when Fulio got popped off, when Dex got popped off, when King Von, Icewood, you know, when any of these individuals get unalive, guess what happens? These major record labels get paid. They don't even care if you live or die, as long as they get paid, right? If they're gonna get paid with your music when you're alive, they're gonna get paid with your music in death, right? Why do you think, right, with what was it? If you watch the documentary about Biggie, Puffy said he was gonna pay for the funeral, but it came out of Big's estate. right? Puffy had life insurance on Big. Think about it. Puffy went from just, ratting at the top of the game to after Big was unalive, he shot way up the money and everything because he had a policy on that guy that nobody knew about. Go ahead with that last little bit of that.
Artists are frustrated with this kind of music making. A lot of people,
artists are frustrated with doing this type of music because you really think about it. When you're an artist, you want to celebrate and push out what you know about, right? But these record labels, because they're tied to these prisons, are pushing you to make a certain type of song, make a certain type of music. Continue, please.
Like they're being controlled by the label. This is how they do it. Telling you what songs to sing, what hooks to do, what songs, you can do your song. That's fine. That's an album cut. But the single is what we all say is the single. Mm-hmm. So you have.
Yeah, we go in that. Shariwan, sir. Shariwan.
Yeah.
What you think?
Yeah, that's some heavy information. I wanna read something interesting. Can you pull that video up one more time and bring it back to the start? It was with he had posed a question, which is very interesting.
You talking about when the devil posed a question to him, like, why do you make this music?
Right back to the start. Yeah, go bring it right to the beginning. Just let it play.
I don't know their names, Bill, but if you follow the money, you go high money. Who benefits off our bickering in our division?
That's it right there. Pause there. It's like, who benefits off our bickering and our division? And I'm gonna pull this up. Just to add on to some of the points you brothers are making. And this is kind of the for anybody that doesn't know. What's that brother's name who started BET? Richard or Robert or something like that.
To start BET?
Yeah, the brother who started BET.
I'm not sure, but I know Viacom owns it now, I think.
God, it was a brother named Robert or something. It starts with an R. He's actually the first black billionaire in America.
So like you said, his name Robert L. Johnson.
Robert L. Johnson. He is the first black billionaire inside of America. And he became a billionaire in 2001 when he sold BET to Viacom. I think he sold it for like $3 billion. Check this out here. Viacom's acquisition of BET in 2001 marked a significant step in expanding the network's reach and content offering. So what's something that Viacom was able to do? They made a significant step in expanding the network's reach and content offering. So they started changing the content they're giving out, and they were able to start reaching communities that BET never reached before. What were those communities? All of a sudden, you have a rise in Europeans watching BET. You have a rise in Japanese and Koreans and Asians and East Indians, Africans watching our media, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the content that they're offering? It's the content that, some of the content Ice Cube's talking about. Like they're the ones who decide what content they put out and what they don't. when Viacom had originally purchased BET off of Robert, you know, they had said they weren't going to change the content because he originally had a vision for what BET was supposed to become and what it was going to be. When Viacom took over, they changed all that shit. You saw every hood rat come out the fucking woods.
Yeah.
Like a million sexy rats pop up on BET. A million Lil Waynes pop up on BET. This is all you started seeing on Viacom. There was you can look on Google Ask AI, they'll give you certain sitcoms. There was something called Hell Day or Blind Hell Day. I looked it up, and when I put it on, I was like, oh shit, I remember this show. I remember watching this bullshit. And that was Viacom taking over, you know, BET. And, you know, as Ice Cube's kind of posing that question, like, who is making money off of this media? Man, white people. White people not only love to watch your destruction,
Damn right.
they love to get rich off of your fuckery. White people are greedy. They will any way that they can make money, they're going to make money. And when you sit here and what's it called? Demean yourself or depict yourself in selling drugs to your people and unaliving your people, you know, acting like whores all over media, Europeans love that shit. That you are the greatest entertainment to Europeans in the world. Who you think is going to Lil Wayne concerts by the hundreds of thousands?
Yes, sir.
That is white people. They're going out to support that shit because they love seeing you kill yourself. They love seeing you sell drugs to your people. They get off on seeing a 10-year-old, what was that show? On The Wire. You'll see a 10-year-old sell drugs to somebody else. They get off on that shit. They will watch BET all day, every day. Because that content is for them. And it says the acquisition allowed BET to diversify its programming, including BET streaming services. Now, what's so diabolical about that is Viacom starts putting out this content that demeans our people. What do you think the average black man does? Ahabawan, do you still watch BET?
Say that again, sir.
You still watch BET?
Do I still watch BET?
Yeah.
Every now and then I would say I'll find something on there.
Do you think you watch it as much as you used to when you were younger?
No, I don't.
And that's the average black man. Like, we don't watch BET as a whole anymore, statistically, because of how it depicts us in the media. Nobody in their right mind wants to watch each other just, you know, unalive each other all day long. So what did we do? We started switching to streaming services. And black people started looking for streaming services where they could see themselves in a good light. What does Viacom do? They include BET streaming services. So now you go on Netflix and Amazon Prime and Tubi and whatever else, Viacom is there.
If I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's so heavy about what you're saying, how they depict these people and depict our people in bad light and depict their own people in a good light, is that there are shows on BET that depicts rich families, and every time you see a rich family, they always into some like some drug dealing or some illegal gambling or, you know, robbing and unaliving one another. You never see, you know, not to say that the Cosby Show was a good show for black folk, but you don't see a black lawyer and a black doctor together trying to raise their children, you know, up out, you know, the inner city. You won't see a show like that, right? If they're financially well off, there's always some dope or some homosexuality involved with it, where you have the husband creeping off with another man or something like that. So that's what got me away from watching all that.
So, like you, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to add a little bit, kind of sideways to the topic, but on topic. You know, 50 Cent and his shows and the money that he's gained off of it, and just the popularity of the shows. It's all, you know, selling drugs, bunch of trauma, bunch of killing, and you know, it's our people, and you know, a spinoff of a spinoff of a spinoff, and it's all just the same thing. Our people dealing drugs, killing each other, and we've been so destroyed to the point where, you know, that's all our people into at this point. If it's not top area, it's that.
Yes, sir.
And if I could add to that, like you provide an oppressed people a way of getting themselves out of the ghetto. And I'm not saying this is right for brothers to do this, but you better believe some brothers and sisters are going to take that bag. You know what I mean? They're going to take whatever it is that they can do to make some money. What did Erykah Badu say? She said, you know, she advised sisters, straight up advised sisters, you want to be successful in this industry, learn to suck some dick. Like this is out of the words of one of our sisters, the daughter of Zion. And it's like we're so destroyed in this place, you know, we're willing to do anything to get the money. You know what I mean? So you have this devil offering you millions of dollars, you know, to talk about unaliving each other all day long. Yeah, brothers are going to take that. You damn right brothers are going to take that. And we don't understand that we're sitting here in a place where, you know, like what did Christ say? I sent you as sheep amongst wolves.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like we surrounded by a bunch of people preying on our destruction. Literally preying on us. You know what I mean? What does it say in the Ecclesiasticus? Like what fellowship does a sheep have with a wolf? You know what I mean? Like those two things don't go together.
When they do, is destruction.
That's it. Like what they say out in Chicago, Martin Luther King's dream is our nightmare. Like you integrate a people into a society of other nations that are preying on you, and you're sitting here at the bottom of society with no military. You know what I mean? Like we have no good quality leadership. Families destroyed, been oppressed, just coming out of slavery for hundreds of years. Every chance we get of building something, they destroy it. Black Wall Street, Rosewood, you know, all Tulsa, Oklahoma, all these different places where it's like we've never been allowed to catch a foot or kind of, you know, build ourselves up in this place. And then you sit here and, you know, offer all this money to rap all day long about destroying each other. Yeah, brother. You know what I mean? And we don't have enough sense to know that these people that are around us is our enemy.
Is.
You know what I mean? They are our enemy, full out enemy. And you understood that. Why would you ever do business with your enemy? In the sense of this is somebody I trust, you know, that's gonna take me out of this condition I'm in. You know what I mean? All the contracts that are professional athletes sign and different things like that, thinking that we're gonna go trust this man, you know, with our life. You signing a deal with the devil.
Sold your soul.
Go ahead, Alvin.
I said you sell your soul. Think about it. You know, when you make that deal with the devil, and our artists, they don't understand that. And our people don't understand that our artists, these artists that are so-called leaders in the black community, one thing you don't see is you don't see white entertainers leading the white community. You don't see Chinese entertainers leading the Chinese community. right? You don't see that. You only see in the black community, and when I say black, I mean black, Native American, Hispanics. You only see the entertainers, right? Think about what entertainers are. Court gestures. You see the court gestures leading the people? No. That makes no damn sense. You only see that in our communities, man, where the entertainers are leading the people. And the thing about it is, the entertainers have already, like you just said, they sold out to the devil. So now you following the leadership of an individual that sold out to your enemy. Where is it going to lead you? I'm going to tell you where he's going to lead you. And I'm going to quote Martin Luther King when I say this. He's going to lead you into a burning house. Then King, right before they assassinated King, King said, I feel that I've led my people into a burning house. No, nigga, you know you did. And you did it because you wanted some white poom poom. Please.
On to that point, like with the other nations, like you see even like Jackie Chan, he's never played a villain. And then this a point I heard, the men above me, make before. But he know in his culture, it would be a shame for him to play certain roles. So you only seen Jackie Chan in the superhero, good position where he's saving a day. He's never been a bad guy, killing, kidnapping, raping, or drug dealer. He's ever only played good roles because he know what it's like, to be a Chinese man in America and representing an entire race of people.
You know what? And the piggyback off of what you're saying is that our people don't understand who's the good guy and who's the villain in movies anyway, right? To prove it to you, Megatron was always looked at as the villain. Think about it. Megatron was looked up as the villain. What was Megatron trying to do? Save his race, save his people. Optimus Prime was the damn traitor, right? Megatron was ready to do anything to save his people, right? He was following the laws of what's the name of it? Cybers, or whatever Cybertron. He was following the laws of Cybertron in order to save his race of people, right? Optimus Prime went against that and didn't do anything to help, because they could have restored Cybertron. Megatron didn't try to sit here on Earth. He wanted to restore Cybertron. So who was the villain? The actual, the good guy in that? And I got 1,000 more. But since you don't watch movies, I can't bring those up. Because you don't never get. I'm glad Kahar here today, because now he get my movie references. I got somebody on my team now. Somebody back me up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull something up.
I have to bring up all the movies that I brought up in the past because he here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up something real quick. Just to touch on what it is you're saying. All right, this it says. I'll go up. This is from a website called Scholars Strategy Network. Okay. It says, I'm just going to read this one part. It says, harms from portrayals of racial and ethnic minorities in media. It says, researchers have found that prolonged television exposure predicts a decrease in self-esteem for all girls and for Black boys, but an increase in self-esteem for white boys.
You know why, right?
God.
You know why? Because the sisters is shaking their ass on these. Name me a show where, name me a show that's on television right now where it does not portray a brother as homosexual in it.
Right.
Right. Name me a show that don't portray a brother as homosexual or portray a sister as a whore. Right now, if you want to look at their shows, They got shows like Young Sheldon that portrays a little white devil as a fucking genius.
Right.
You got Malcolm in the Middle, right? You know what Malcolm in the Middle was? The white everybody hates Chris. That's what it is, right? And everybody hate Chris. Malcolm don't go through the hardship that Chris went through, right? Because Malcolm family wasn't poor. So when you start to compare, mainstream black media to mainstream white media, and look how it's portraying our people. Now, what they will do is they portray their people as police officers and heroes. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. They save the day. Oh, there always got to be a white man or a white woman that saves the day. What was the Quentin Tarantino movie with the 5 female ninjas? Kill Bill. You see what I'm saying? Kill Bill. Now you seen that one?
I see that
I just wanted to say, like they always the hero. Like, it's always a superhero. There ain't been no black. I think the first black superhero and the only black superhero was Meteor Man.
You got what's it, Black Lightning?
Yeah, but I'm saying like on main, like a movie, like a blockbuster movie or a movie just in, you know what I mean?
Because The Rock ain't black.
Right. And then they try to give us Black Panther, but that was just some
Africans ain't black.
Right, exactly. And then what's so diabolical about Black Panther, they sell us that culture because we don't know who the hell we are. So the niggas just eat it up. But then you got, the nigga who grew up as a nigga in the US trying to he's the villain.
And guess what?
He the villain trying to say.
And technically, he was a Hamite.
God. That was just that's just that story. It was to represent that, we not saving you niggas.
It's not.
We gonna have all the power in the world and we still not gonna save you niggas. And you are a bad nigga if you try to save niggas. That's exactly what it is.
That's heavy. So you a bad nigga if you try to save niggas. But we know Christ was the baddest nigga that walked this earth. And he's saving niggas. He's going to save niggas. When Christ return, niggas look up. Because he coming with a bunch of niggas.
Let me I'm gonna finish this up. I got a video too to play. Real time, though. So this ending this out, it says these differences correlate with the racial and gender practices in Hollywood, which predominantly cast white men as heroes while erasing or subordinating other groups as villains, sidekicks, and sexual objects. Studies also show how media images of Native American mascots lower the self-esteem and affect the moods of Native American adolescents and young adults who suffer from high suicide rates. You know what I mean? So again, it's just showing, there are other nations who can sit there and watch TV and not be affected. You know what I mean? White people can watch TV all day, and it's gonna bring their self-esteem up. You know what I mean? It's gonna make them feel like they're the hero, like they're the good guy. Which is why in the UPK we say one of the most important things, you know what I mean? One of the most valuable pieces of wisdom you could have on this earth is to understand that our oppressor is the devil.
Damn right.
He is the greatest deceiving piece of shit, you know what I mean, that you could ever imagine. He'll make you think that, he is holier than thou. Meanwhile, he's number one in unaliving, his whole family and then putting a bullet in his own head. He's number one in school shootings. He's number one in terrorism. He's number one in gang violence. He's number one in drug dealing. He is the most filthy man. He is what's that brother at the headquarters say? Yakuza. He is a goddamn virus on this earth. You know what I mean? But yet, even being that virus, he can watch TV and he can get better self-esteem. He can walk out that door and feel good about who he is. Why? He's motherfucking Superman on the earth.
Hey, look, he's Superman, right? He's Superman. But when it comes to being super, I ain't seen no white LeBron James. You know, I ain't seen no. You know, think about this: Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt. we do everything better than them, right? Understand? Superman, when it first came out, was his first cast as being a black man. And think about it, right? It's just if you look at it, he was supposed to have been a black orphan, right? That gained superpowers. Instead of that going on and Superman being a black man, they made him a white alien, right? From Krypton or whatever the name of his planet is, right? They couldn't even get an earthly white man to play Superman. You know why? Because they already had the white man play Jesus.
Hey, so the water for that, Ahava. You know what I mean? You know, let me not forget that they portrayed the greatest man that ever walked this earth as a devil. You know what I mean? Like they not just as a devil, but as God Himself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? God walked in this earth, was a white man with long blonde hair, blue eyes. You know what I mean? That's who he portrays himself to be. And you know, I forget what Pope pushed that painting. You know what I mean? But the Pope himself said, "This is the image of the greatest man," and he pushed it out on the earth like, "This is the representative." And now you put this, and that's such a sad thing. I hate when I see it. You know what I mean? Going to a cousin's house or something. They still got that bullshit white Jesus, you know what I mean, hung up on a wall somewhere.
Yes, sir.
And you tell your kids your whole life. You know, grandma raised you, she told you your whole life. You gotta come to church, you gotta read your Bible. You know what I mean? The greatest man is Jesus Christ. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And you got this fucking white boy up on the wall, you know what I mean, showing you he's holier than thou. You know what I mean? Are there any movies that portray the children of Israel as black, Hispanic, or indigenous?
Well, let me. They made one movie that sent white folk crazy, and they portrayed God being black, and that was Bruce Almighty. Right? And then when he was the president in that other movie, it's the same guy, Morgan Freeman. So white people must think if God is black, he must look like Morgan Freeman. But that Bruce Almighty had white folk, well, why is God this, that, another thing, blah, blah, blah. One, you already let Christ be white. That was a portrayal. We didn't go crazy with what was the name of that movie, The 10 Commandments or something like that. Every movie made, I don't even know of a movie where, like you were saying, they portray the children of Israel as black, or they portray God as black. I think we're gonna have to make that movie in the UPK.
So like you, sir, I know Captain Tazariak, he brought out, it was like an old movie back in like the 30s that portrayed everybody in heaven as black, God black, angels black. This is back in the 30s, you know what I mean? So
it's time for a remake.
God,
right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Yeah, I mean, but again, the Habawan's point, like, you know, it's so diabolical. You know, what Captain Zarek just posted a video on that Jewish rabbi. He's like 70 years old, you know, about to meet some 9-year-old boy inside of a shopping center. Talking about how he wants to kiss him, make out with him, this and that. Rabbi gets arrested, goes to jail, and this is who people think are the children of God. You know what I mean? These are the people who say, "Oh, you don't speak Hebrew, you don't know anything about the Torah." You know what I mean? We're the authorities on we're the authority on the Hebrew. You know what I mean? We're the authority on the Bible. If you don't speak Hebrew, you're not going to understand the scriptures. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, they're molesting little boys.
And look here, and the thing about it, sir, about the parents is bringing them to him to kiss this baby on the ride.
Mm-hmm.
The parents, how diabolical do you have to be to convince a mother and a father to allow you to suck on a newborn?
See nothing wrong with it.
That man, them some nasty son of a. I'm gonna leave. I have to slow it down a little bit. Them some nasty individuals, right? You done told this mother and this father, in order for this baby to be holy, the rabbi or whatever they call him got to give you herpes because you know he got the herpes bump on his lip, right? So now these babies, do you understand that herpes can kill children? Small boys under the age of 1, if they contract herpes, it can kill them. Right? Chicken pox, smallpox, those are deadly viruses, right? Herpes is a form of those viruses. It can kill them.
Yep.
Man, and you bringing your son to this dude so he could go ahead and give him a smooch. And then you want to say, but the issue is you say you follow the Torah, but you can't show me in the Torah where God told you to kiss a baby dick.
Yeah, we can start. We'll start closing out the class. You know what I mean? Because again, you really brought it home, Ahawan. You know what I mean? It was a much needed part two to this topic because it really runs deep. You know what I mean? It really runs deep. And you know, the attack that they have on Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous comes from all angles. You know what I mean? I should have there's an FBI article that probably would have been good to read in this class, but it would take me a minute to find. So I have to bring it up another time. But you know, the FBI has played, you know, just furthering onto this point, you know, such a heavy role, you know, on this topic in the destruction of our people. You know what I mean? Things like COINTELPRO, going after our leaders, infiltrating the Black Panther Party, infiltrating different quote unquote black movements. You think the FBI doesn't play a part in the media?
Yes.
FBI, like the FBI tells you themselves. You know what I mean? What's one of the ones, you know, a good one? The FBI says, check this out. The FBI says one of the main causes for mass shootings in America is from people seeing in the news mass shootings. So now think about this. You're in an organization that is built to quote unquote protect America. You would think that the FBI would do everything that they could to stop mass shootings.
Damn right.
How hard would it be for the FBI to say, you know what, America? It is now illegal to show or air any mass shooting in the news. We are not going to make anybody famous if they take a gun and mow down a crowd of 40 people. That is never going to be shown to the public. They would stop mass shootings.
Mm-hmm.
And the FBI knows and understands the role that media plays inside of America. You think they don't use COINTELPRO in the media? You think that you would be, living under a rock.
But that's if that's the true cause of mass shootings.
That they say that's one of the major reasons behind the increase in mass shootings.
You know what I do when I see a mass shooting on television? You know what it makes me? You know what I do? I pray it wasn't none of our people around.
Right.
I pray that it wasn't none of our people that got hit. They got hurt. That's what I hope when I see a mass shooting. It don't make me want to go out and do a mass shooting. No. What it makes me think is why no one knew, because they just raided what's that, Dearborn, here in Dearborn? They just raided a bunch of some of them Islam guys. They just raided their house because they said they were supposed to do a mass shooting. It was either on Christmas or on New Year's or something like that. Right? So they were able to prevent that mass shooting. So they raided 2 separate houses and they arrested it was either 6 or 7 guys altogether. Right? So they prevented those mass shootings. So if they can do that in the Arab community, why they can't do it in the white community? Because I'm sure these white folk have the same communication that these Arabs were having. I don't understand if you're gonna do what I don't understand is if you're gonna do a mass shooting, why communicate it through text and on phone? Meet in the basement of something, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to tell people how to do it, but it just makes sense for you not to have communication because all communication is recorded by Big Brother, right? That's what we're told. And then there's certain keywords that they use to key on where they can track your conversation or not, right? And with AI, that should be easy.
I remember right after COVID started dying down a little bit in Canada, the government of Canada released a news article saying how the government of Canada, they released a news article on how they're apologizing, for taking over and monitoring everybody's cell phone. And they did it because they were trying to track where everybody was during COVID. And it was like, damn, so y'all were just, watching me, listening to every conversation, every text message, you know what I mean, at will. You know what I mean? They can be listening to my phone right now. You know what I mean? And they released it. So it's like, it's not a secret that they have the ability to do it.
If I may, sir.
Wow.
Now, the reason why I believe that's bullshit is because if you tracking every single phone, right? You got people staying in the house. It's COVID. How the fuck cocaine and fentanyl and opioids still getting in the country? You should have been like, oh, them the people that's moving around. Let's chase them.
No, because they
bombing these boats out of Venezuela left and right. They bombing these boats, and now they got drones flying over, bombing some of the interior, right? Right? You know what boats got drugs and what boats are fishing boats coming out of Venezuela. You know which houses are manufacturing and producing cocaine and which houses are not in Venezuela. But you trying to tell me you still got fentanyl by the metric ton and cocaine by the metric ton? The issue is, I'm not gonna say that. I'll tell you that off air. But I will say,
let me give you this, boy.
United States looking for a different supplier. That's all it is.
Let me give you this, boy. I'm gonna give you this, and then we'll end up the class.
All right.
Let's play this real quickly. Okay, this is the Toronto mayor, Rob Ford.
Oh, I remember he was doing coke. Huh?
That's why he wants to be involved in everything. He wants to fight everybody's battles, and it's going to kill you. Excuse me, kill you.
I kill fucking.
Don't do it.
Your kids spend.
Your kids are important to you. That's what drives you, baby. That's what I love. That's why we love you. Okay.
No, you don't know.
Your children.
I was loving that.
This nigga smoking crack rock.
This is the man. This is why they let the drugs come in, because all the goddamn mayors and politicians are all drugs. Why?
Oh,
Yeah. So with that, Ahaba, anything else you want to say?
Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the class. Everybody, like, share, class, right? It's funny because when the crack epidemic hit, the inner cities of America, right? When it hit the inner cities of America, you got these things called crack babies that they was pushing, right? You got crack babies are this, crack babies are that, and we were told that 60% of babies was born with crack cocaine in their system, when it really, in actuality, was less than 3%.
Right. Yep.
Right. And now you got the mayor of Toronto on video smoking crack. I haven't seen one black person on video smoke some crack.
They got videos of this man going in alleys and buying it. Ahaba.
Say that again.
They got videos of this man going in back alleys and buying it.
You gotta send me them.
Yeah.
You gotta send me them. I'm making like a video. What you call that? A video collage.
God.
This motherfucker smoking crack.
You know how many drug dealers saw that video and were like, damn.
Hey, play that one.
I gotta be his new plug.
The damn mayor smoking crack. But then, what was the mayor of New York? Marion Barry?
God.
DC. He had smoked some crack and then he got his job back.
Yeah.
Right? So understand, I guess crack, they don't drug test for mayors. Because in order for me to get a job at a plant, I got to take a drug test. And if they find crack in my system, they're not going to hire me. They find weed in your system, these plants are not going to hire you. And then on top of that, they don't take the piss test, they take hair. Right? I don't know how you could beat a hair test. You go ahead and put that stuff and shampoo that stuff on your hair, they're going to take some hair from somewhere else. When I went to I had to take a drug test for a job, they wanted some underarm hair. I was like, you can have all that you want. Just don't touch the hair on my head. I guess they don't do hair tests for mayors in Toronto. But that's all I got, sir. When we close it?
Yeah, with that, we're going to say shalom. All right, the Water Israel for tuning in. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. All right, the Water Ka'ar for helping out, holding down the class. Of course, priest, the mighty priest, 500, Officer Ahaba. All right, holding down another history class. With that, we say shalom.
Shalom.